The Deep Learning Initiative, or DLI, is Wooster's alternative to advanced placement courses in our upper school. These are the most rigorous and most advanced coursework that our students can take. Unlike the rigidity and the predetermined nature of advanced placement curricula, the DLI courses are rooted in students' and instructors' passions. We've all taken courses with a really passionate teacher who inspired us to do more, to learn more, to explore things about our own understanding that we didn't yet know. And DLI seeks to acknowledge that truth of education and put teachers and the students at the center of the experience when designing curriculum.
So one of the best things about DLI are the relationships that are formed between teachers and students. These really happen for two reasons. One is that teachers are required to use methodologies and create structures that really promote small group learning, but also individual interactions between teacher and student. And the other is that students are required, and this has to be part of the curriculum, to be developing their own sort of personal inquiry. So they're looking into a particular problem, they're coming up with questions, and then obviously they're coming up with answers. And the teacher, as this is going on, is sort of riding shotgun with the student on this personal journey that they're on, where they're going deeper into a particular subject. So last year I had 13 seniors in a DLI essay course, and basically we were on this journey for the whole year. And when we got to the end, I knew them so much better as learners and as people, and they knew me a lot better as a person, but also as a learner. And I think that is really one of the most powerful things about the DLI courses themselves.
We also read Othello. That was probably the highlight of the class for me. We took our whole class down to the theater and acted out various portions of it, and the acting was actually part of the grade. And it's just so fun to teach DLI because unlike with AP, which I've also taught, there's just more time in the curriculum to go deeper with material as opposed to covering a large array of information at a more surface level. And the emphasis is really on student understanding and application rather than mastery of specific literary terminology for standardized testing.
One of the main things that we speak about in our information session that is given to almost 50,000 folks every year is the interconnectedness of the world and the interdisciplinary nature of knowledge. And the Wooster School's deep learning initiatives really hold on to that concept and make students do a deep dive into that regardless of field. They have students asking the big questions. They're not just learning facts, they're learning the ways in which they can interpret information in an increasingly digital age.
In reviewing applications for admission, beyond a transcript, we're certainly looking for signs that students have had deep moments of mentorship with faculty, experiential learning, and have developed a passion for learning on its own. The DLI initiative at Wooster is that in a nutshell.
The biggest advantage that I've found when taking DLI classes is really the meaningful collaboration that takes place between classmates. Like for example, this year I took a DLI Advanced Chemical Applications class, and for about a few months, me and 3 other classmates conducted this really meaningful experiment and did a lot of good research on the effects of ozone on clover plants. So really the collaboration between classmates was something that I found was really interesting and unique and makes DLI classes a great time.
Overall, DLI Physics with Dr. Sullivan is just an amazing class, and I think so many people should take it because Dr. Sullivan knows how to teach a class correctly. He makes everyone feel engaged by not just making us sit down and listen to lectures, but instead we learn with him, and through that we do problems in class and work together as a class. And I think that's why DLI Physics is one of the best classes I've taken. It definitely has helped prepare me for future in college where I can collaborate with my peers.
Another really cool unit that we got to do in DLI chemistry was the molecular gastronomy unit. So for 7 weeks, every week we would do a different molecular gastronomy technique. Like we would make caviar out of like tomato juice or something and just make tons of like crazy food dishes, which was pretty cool. And the even cooler was that each of the techniques that we used relates to some organic chemistry topic. So that way we got to learn about organic chemistry and experiment with food that we could eat, which was pretty cool.
So when we talk about rigor here at Wooster, really we're talking about redefining how people think about rigor. And the Deep Learning Initiative is absolutely at the center of that. When we talk about rigor, we're not solely judging it by the quantity of one's work. That is to say, I do 6 hours of homework per night. DLI is about much more than that. It's about a depth of thinking. It's about enduring learning built on brain science. It's about not just teaching to a test and then taking that test only to forget the material once that test is concluded. It's about an authentic and a personal learning journey that's built around your and your teacher's passions. And it's about developing the independence and the agency that's going to carry you forward to success in college and beyond.